Yes, yeah, dear students. In this lecture, we are going to know how to write a research proposal. Research proposal. You have to follow mainly linguistics. In linguistics, or maybe in literature even, or mainly in linguistics. Okay. The title of the proposal, or the title of the study itself. This should be clear, concise, and informative. And we had how to write a good research title in the previous classes, so your title is here. You have to get your title ready. Go and read a lot about how to write a good research title and then prepare your title. So there is an example of a title here. The impact of code switching on English language learning in Sudanese secondary schools. This is an example of title of a research proposal or study. Very clear, very concise, and informative. It tells something. The second heading, be careful that the heading goes the same order. Take the same order. Introduction or background. Either you write introduction or background. Better to write introduction. This section provides context and background to the study. Now you go and read a lot about the study, you understand the study fully, now you know everything about it, and you are going to identify the area of interest so that you are going to do the research in that area. So from now you are going to identify which area you like. Do you like linguistics, literature, do you like phonetics, do you like, when you go to linguistics, you go to different research, different branches of linguistics, either phonology, morphology, syntax, pragmatic, sociolinguistics, whatever courses that you're going to study in your future academic year, or you already studied in the previous academic year. Introduce the linguistics issues or topic you want to explore, state why the topic is important and relevant, mention any gaps in current knowledge or research. When you go and read about the area of your interest in linguistics, you can identify the area of your research and then you can introduce it. You write the title and then you introduce your topic or your study. Statement, you state the problem of your study. Define the specific problem or questions on your research addresses. Explain why it needs to be studied. Highlight the real life or theoretical issue the research aims to solve or explore. And then you go to heading number 4, research questions. These two have to have like separate headings. One heading, research question, another heading, hypothesis. These are two headings. List the key question you intend to answer. Alternatively, provide your hypothesis if your study is more quantitative. Ensure they are clear, focused, and researchable. These are two headings, dear student. Take care. You have research question in separate heading and research hypothesis in a separate heading. Okay. So this we explain them in the previous in the first section of the lecture. Then we go to number 5. Objectives of the study. Objectives of the study. What are the objectives of the study? State the main objective, general aim. List the specific objectives that break down the aim into manageable parts. Example: general, to examine how code switching affects English learning. Specific, to identify common code switch phrases in Sudanese classroom. You can state them in general aim or specific ones. State the main objective, general, or list specific objective that break down the aim into manageable parts. So you can make them general and specific or one objective. Significance of the study, why this study is important. Explain the importance of and potential parts of your research. Why this research study is important. Who will benefit? Teachers, students, policymakers. How will it contribute to the field of linguistics or applied linguistics? And then review of related literature. You summarize key theories, models, and past studies related to your topic. Show how your research fits in or differs, whether your research is the same or different from other studies or previous studies. Identify gaps or weaknesses in current research that your study will address. In theoretical in the heading number 8, theoretical framework, you mentioned the linguistic theory or model guiding your study, example, social linguistics, second language acquisition, and whatever branch of linguistic theoretical framework of the study. بعدك the methodology. This is optional by number A option. You can do it or not. Either you have it or you go to methodology. Describe your research design, qualitative or quantitative or a mixed method. Explain the population, the instrument you use, the data collection method, and data analysis plan. You talk about the methodology you follow, the population, and what you are going to use, whether interviews, questionnaire, or observation. And then you go to data collection method, and then data and how are you going to analyze your data. This is it's just 1 or 2 paragraphs describing this. And then finally the scope and limitation. What is the scope of your study? Define the boundaries of your study, what it will and what won't cover. What it will cover, what it won't cover. Mention any challenges or constraints you expect. The scope. This study is within this place, within those people. It has rules, limitation and delimitation that we mentioned in the first part of the lecture. Limitation and delimitation. Ethical consideration. Describe how you will ensure ethical standards. You inform consent. This is optional, by the way. This is optional. You can do it or not. You describe how you will ensure ethical stand. If you want to do, for example, a questionnaire or whatever about your study, describe, are you going to use informed consent? This section is essential. What can I say? This section is optional. Is optional. You can do it or not. Avoiding harm to participants. You are going to say that you are going to follow those ethical. You consider ethical issues while you are doing research. If you are doing for an experiment, you won't kill animals. It is a volunteer participation. It's avoiding harm to participant. You don't harm the participant. You don't cause any harm to the participant that are going to participate in your study. You make sure that any ethical consideration are considered. Timeline where planned. In which time are we going to finish this? Provide a schedule showing how long each phase of research will take. The first phase will take 2 months, and this will take 3 months, and this will take 2 weeks, 1 week, 3 weeks. Can be written in bullet points or a Gantt chart format. You can do them in table or chart or in bullet points. And then the references. You identify the references when you go and identify how many references are linked or related to your study. And then you list, so maybe 10, 15, 5 references. Okay, you list them. I will use this book, with the author, with the, I will use this book with the author, maybe 10 books, 5 books, 2 books. You write them, and then you write the style of appropriate citation style. We are going to study it carefully in our coming lecture, inshallah. So this is mainly the format of the. You have 2 classes here. In the first part of the lecture, you have certain. These are the basic proposal. Headings. You can add to them like scope of limitation, limitation and delimitation. You can say scope and limitation. You don't have ethical consideration there. You don't have time and timeline and work plan. You don't have them there. But in post you have to mention the references in post. So in lecture, in the first part of the lecture, there is a very little slide different from those headings here. But post in this one, this is the main format, and what you can write in each headings, you have to be very careful. These are the headings of your research proposal, and you have to be sure in every single heading what are you going to write, the content of each of those headings. You have to watch lecture number 1 within the certain heading, and lecture the same lecture. In the second part, you have to look at the 3 or 4 additional headings that are added here. So together you are going to form the best format of your research proposal, which is this one. So you watch the first lecture and the second lecture, and together you have to make sure that now you can write your research proposal clearly and easily.